Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing a real deep dive conversation, mapping out the journey to becoming what's known as a Site Reliability Engineer, or SRE. Let's get right into it. All right, let's just jump in with a question that might catch you off guard. Could you already be an SRE, on the inside, just without the official title? Because in almost every company, there are people who are already operating with that SRE mindset, even if nobody calls them that. So take a look at this list. Does any of this sound like you? Are you the person who's always trying to make things more reliable? The one who builds a quick tool to stop a recurring headache? If you're nodding along, then hey, congratulations. You're already thinking and acting like an SRE. Your biggest challenge isn't learning how to do the job, it's getting recognized for the awesome work you're already doing. But look, for most of us, it's not something we just fall into. It's a journey. So let's break down a few of the most common paths people take to get there. All right. If you're a student right now, listen up. Your number one goal is to get your hands dirty. It's all about getting that practical, real-world experience and plugging into the SRE community as early as you possibly can. And what's so cool about these steps is that, none of them are about just sitting in a lecture hall. It's all action. It's about building stuff, yeah, but it's also about breaking stuff and then figuring out why it broke. That's where the real learning happens. Okay, now for all you developers, you software engineers out there, making the jump to SRE, it's a real shift in your thinking. You gotta move from just writing the code to really understanding how that code behaves out in the wild, in production. So here's the big takeaway. You have to start asking these kinds of questions. You're not just thinking about features anymore. You're thinking about failure. You're putting yourself in the shoes of the person who's gonna get that page at 3 in the morning when things go wrong. And hey, to all my sysadmins out there, you are coming into this with a superpower. Your troubleshooting skills are probably top-notch. For you, the switch to SRE is really about a change in perspective. It's moving away from we gotta monitor every single thing to asking what do our customers actually care about. It's not about 100% uptime, it's about the right level of reliability for the business. Okay, I need to pause here for a really important warning. This goes for people looking for jobs and for companies hiring. There's this trend where companies just flip the title from sysadmin to SRE. And let me tell you, it's a recipe for disaster. And yeah, this quote just hits the nail on the head. SRE is a whole new culture, a new set of skills, a totally different mission. You can't just slap a new label on an old role and expect to get the real benefits. It's just window dressing, and it doesn't work. Okay, so with that in mind, let's get into the nitty-gritty of actually landing the job. We'll start with how to be a bit of a detective and read between the lines of a job posting to find a role that's truly SRE. You can learn a ton about a company just by looking at the tech they list. It's like a secret code. You see Kubernetes right next to Nagios? That's a huge clue that you're probably walking into an environment with some shiny new stuff and some really, really old stuff. No matter what the company is or what the specific role looks like, you absolutely have to be ready to talk about these 4 areas. We're talking large-scale system design, and not the abstract theoretical kind. We're talking monitoring, the fundamentals, and of course, the big one, troubleshooting. Okay, when the tables turn and it's your chance to ask questions, this one is pure gold. Tell me about your monitoring system. Their answer tells you everything. It tells you if they're data-driven, if they're proactive, or just constantly fighting fires. It's a huge tell. And this question gets right to the heart of their culture. How do they learn when things go wrong? A really healthy SRE culture is built on a foundation of blameless, super effective post-incident reviews. If they don't have a good answer for this, that could be a red flag. And finally, ask them this. It's the why question. If they can give you a really sharp, clear answer, it shows the SRE team has a real purpose. But if they kind of stumble around, well, it might mean the team doesn't have the clarity or the backing it really needs to succeed. All right, so you aced the interview, you got the offer, you landed the job. Awesome. But what's it really like? What does a day in the life of an SRE actually look like? First things first, just forget the idea of an average day. It doesn't exist. The job is way too dynamic for that. A much better way to think about it is in terms of the different modes you operate in, the different hats you have to wear. And your time is pretty much split between these 3 big modes. You've got the time you spend reacting to problems, fighting fires. Then there's the time you spend learning from those incidents. And finally, there's the time you spend proactively building stuff to prevent those fires from starting in the first place. Incident mode. This is when you're 100% reactive. The outage is your whole world. It's that high adrenaline, fight or flight state where all your skills are put to the ultimate test. And then, once the fire is out, you switch gears completely. You go into post-incident learning mode. Now you're a detective. You're sifting through the evidence, both technical and human, to figure out not just what happened, but the deep down why. Look, this whole journey can feel really long sometimes. Whether you're just starting out, or maybe you're deep in a job search that's dragging on. It is so easy to feel like you're just spinning your wheels. So, this is absolutely crucial. You have to track your own progress. Seriously, get a journal, write down the small wins. Hey, I read another chapter of that SRE book, and the big milestones. Seeing that forward momentum, even when it's slow, is what will keep you going. So we've gone through the different paths, how to prep, what the job is really like, we've mapped it all out. That just leaves one last question, and this one is for you. What is the very first step you're going to take on your SRE journey? Whatever it is, good luck. I believe in you.